So I was doing some stuff around the yard and stopped to answer my phone, and it was a girl that had taken one of my active shooter training classes about 2 years ago, and she attends a very large church in Southwest Virginia. Well, yesterday she's up in the balcony with her family, and through the situational awareness that we taught, she sees a guy come in about 5 minutes after the pastor went up to start speaking. She sees a guy come in with a backpack. She's a greeter at the church, so she didn't see him come in. She doesn't recognize him. He's a first-time visitor. Nobody's ever seen him before. He sits right up in front of the church, right in front of the pastor, front row, and he's looking around, just looking around during the service. So about 15 minutes later, still well into the sermon, he decides that he's going to walk down the center aisle to the back of the church, and then he finds himself up in the balcony. This guy's gone unchallenged so far. Then he decides he's going to go tour the church down by the kids area, fellowship hall, the narthex, the lobby area. And she speaks with the security/safety team, and they're clueless. They didn't see him come in. They don't have him on camera. They're not paying attention. Why is this guy walking around the church with a backpack, unchecked, unvetted, unnoticed? Furthermore, that same morning when she was greeting people coming in, she had 2 Middle Eastern men come in. These 2 guys come in, but she got that gut feeling that we talk about in my classes. She got that gut feeling, and they didn't make eye contact with her, and they had an angry look. Both of them seemed very angry. So she greeted them. They came in. Think about what was going on here. What could have been going on here? A lot of active shooters, when they've done their attacks, Virginia Tech, Platte Canyon, Pulse Nightclub, San Bernardino Department of Social Services. That's 4 right off the bat. Practice. They tested security. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see what they're going to do, because on the day we make an attack, then we need to know how far they're going to let us go. Well, they're not even paying attention to this church. We have got, the mission of the church is very delicate. We want to bring people to Christ, but we also want to protect the congregation. I hear a lot of people say that, well, God's going to protect us. Not always. Yes, sometimes, but not always. God lets things happen. God gives us means of protection for protecting ourselves. I don't want to get into preaching a sermon here, but I do want to say, you can diplomatically challenge somebody at the door. The mission to church is bring people to Christ. You can challenge somebody at the door very diplomatically about that backpack. There are ways to do that makes them feel comfortable and then protects the congregation and the flock. That has got to be done. This was a huge, huge failure yesterday, Easter Sunday, when that church is already busy enough, and it was packed yesterday. What could have been in that backpack? What could be in the backpack next Sunday, because this guy was just allowed to roam free? Think about it. Have a plan. Be careful who's in charge of your church safety team. Make sure that they know what they're doing. Make sure that they've got the proper credentials and background and experience to guide that safety team to do the right thing. I'm not saying live in fear or paranoia, but have your head on a swivel. Look at just what's happening in the past couple of weeks in this country. The violent attacks. Yesterday at Burger King, there's a girl that gets mad that her order was taking too long. She comes up to the drive-thru window, sticks her head in, and starts firing at the employees because her meal took too long. Folks, we are at a point in time in this country where you have got to take your personal protection to the next level. You are your own executive protection person, specialist. The president is in a bubble when he moves around the country. You have to create that same bubble of protection. Be safe, reduce injuries, and save lives.